Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the greatest podcast of all time. We are here to talk about the MCU in its current state, and we have two lovely guests with us. Madvocate and Ster, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Madvocate. I am a guy who rants about Flash on the internet, and somehow people like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ster, would you like to introduce yourself?
I like money, and I'm here for money. And
Beautiful,
Amen.
beautiful.
Real, bro.
This intro took 3 takes. I just want to let you know.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're gonna be talking about the insufferably inconsistent state of the MCU at the moment. All right, what do we want to start with? Want to talk about like the Doom casting?
I would love to talk about the Doom casting today.
Yeah, all right,
To
let's
set
let's
the
go for it
stage
then.
for some context, what state of the MCU are we currently in right now? Phase 5?
Phase.
We are in phase
We'll
5. We are
discuss
halfway
anything
through the
Anything
multiverse.
from phase 4 or phase 5, anything from there.
And what was
Okay.
the last content to be released?
I
the
forgot.
I don't know. I
the
haven't
greatest
paid attention.
film of all time, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that was
there
the
we
mo-
go.
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
oh yeah,
no,
I
wait,
forgot. We didn't even talk about that in planning Deadpool and Wolverine. We just completely forgot.
I
and
haven't
also
seen it. So I don't know.
and also that Agatha show that none of us have watched.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I-
fuck,
I-
that
I-
was a thing.
who even asked for that? Like.
That is actually just the state of the MCU.
It
Oh
just
yeah, that came
exists.
out.
It went through
Anyway,
Yeah.
several different title changes to begin with.
dude, it's like for every one project that is like of interesting like note to talk about, there's like 10 others that are just like
They're just
nothing.
there, you know?
It's like they were trying so hard to be like clever with it. They went like title change after title change after title change. And they're like, well, it's Agatha all along, all along. Like,
Mhm.
It
oh
was
my
a-
god.
It was
So
a reveal for
Genius
people who
marketing.
are following discussing film with notifications on. That's the best way to put it. Like it's not a joke for anyone else.
The Boston
That's
film.
true.
All right, well, I guess I want to start the Doom discourse. Okay,
Doom. Love that
Doom.
game.
Yeah, beautiful. He was great in Fortnite.
He's gonna
Wait,
be
who
the
even
goat
plays
Marvel
that game
Rivals.
here?
I grinded the shit out of it to get the Doom skin, and I haven't played it in 2 weeks.
Were you disappointed
My
that it
brother
wasn't
plays
Robert?
that.
Were you disappointed that it wasn't Robert Downey Jr. who you got?
So disappointed. I'm
in-
very, very disappointed that he looked he had an accurate skin color under
Imagine,
that
imagine,
mask. Very, very
imagine,
upset.
imagine you play that and you just get the arm stuff, like meme as like the skin.
So yeah, in case you've been living under a rock, Robert Downey Jr. has been casted as Victor Von Doom at the end of the Fantastic Four movie and for Avengers Doomsday.
Wait, he was for also the Fantastic Four movie. What the fuck?
Apparently.
Apparently he's going to be in the end credit. He was paid millions of dollars for an end credit scene.
There's so much passion in that decision. You know.
Yeah,
My man's balling.
You know, Robert, like I can tell Robert really cares. You know.
yeah. I mean, as Kevin Feige or one of the Russo brothers said, there's only one man who
Sorry.
can play a villain like that. Only one.
Only
No
Robert
one
Downey
else.
Jr. No one else
The
could
sh-
possibly
It
play.
isn't key jangling at all. Nope, no siree. It's
No.
perfectly good storytelling.
Okay, so I guess I'll start off on a serious discussion with it. The only way that I could see it working is like in a situation where it's like a fake out, where you think that it's actually him, and then the real one like kills him, and it's just a fucking meme.
Like,
Like,
why
it's
would
not
they
like
do
a
that? Like,
Joker
no one
2
liked that in
ending.
Iron Man 3. Like,
Fuck
well,
yeah.
why would they do that,
I
do that
unironically,
again?
no. No, okay, but here's the thing though, like, right?
Would it be worth spending that much money on though?
Yeah, but it's like the
Yes.
biggest troll to get people in the theaters. Like it's like the biggest troll. No, I'm not even joking. I genuinely think that's like what Cosmonaut Marcus said. Like it's like a fake, like a variant until the real one comes out. Like I think that's unironically what he said, which is like the biggest like cope ever. Because it's like
Speaking of
in
which,
one
there's actually like something I kind of want to get into. Like, I don't really like it when there's like variants of like different characters and like one actor plays like completely different characters, like with Captain America and like Johnny Storm, when they're in like the same multiverse. Like it feels weird to me. I don't know. Like, am I the only one who thinks that here?
Yeah.
I mean, I can overlook it. It's weird, but like whatever. I can kind of just overlook it. I think it's very weird in this case, both because Doctor Doom is a person of color, in
Yeah, obviously.
you know that was his
I don't.
creator intended.
If you look at Robert Downey Jr. from a certain light, he has a more like brown shade of skin tone.
The certain light being Tropic Thunder.
I was having a discussion with some friends about it. Imagine that they straight up he just plays like Kirk Lazarus again as Doctor
Oh,
Doom.
God.
He just plays the exact same character, and they do
Yeah,
the whole
there are
black
two angles
face
to look
as well.
at this casting. There's the whitewashing angle, and there's the fact that it's fucking Iron Man. It's really just
think-
like an all-timer, honestly.
Yeah.
My general reaction, other than not caring about it, was like similar to like the donkey reaction to the Mario movie casting. Like it's like so similar to me as like Chris Pratt being Mario, where I'm just like, because because to be honest, I don't have that much of a connection to the Fantastic Four, but which I do want to change at some point. So it didn't really upset me, but I definitely understand why it does. But there's
yeah,
also just a level of memery to it where I just find it funny. Like I
yeah,
can't
I
be
adore the
upset about
Fantastic
it.
Four. This was like a personal attack. After
I
two really good castings on the Fantastic Four, for Ben Grimm and Sue Storm, just coming out swinging with this, it was a bit of a whiplash. I'm not expecting the Fantastic Four movie to be good in any way, but like, damn.
It's like it's just the biggest meme. Like that's the only way that I can describe it. Like the funniest thing that I got out of it was like I saw a post from somebody like making like a meme where it's like Spider-Man when he meets up with him again. It's
Oh
like
God,
Mr. Stark. It's
symbiote
like,
Tom
"Mr.
Holland Spider-Man seeing
And
Mr.
it's-
Oh,
Stark.
the memes.
And he's like, and then he's just like, Mr. Stark, oh my God, it's you. And he says, I hate you 3000.
Single tear coming down his cheek.
And then he just like break dances on him. Like it's just like it's the syndrome of just how far they've gone with the whole concept that it's just like it's so beyond parody at this point of what like they're willing to do because they're so desperate.
This truly was our secret wars.
It's just
Oh my gosh, are we gonna talk about Secret Wars as well?
It's not
I
out.
haven't
Why
seen
would we
it,
talk
but-
about
Not much
it?
to talk about in that case.
It's probably
It's
gonna
not
be
out.
terrible. Like most likely, it's like a fucking Blu-ray Angel movie. It's like the best way I can describe it as.
Oops and
So-
Blu-ray Angel on the writing team.
I love. He's got insider knowledge, dude.
Soups and Blu-ray Angel making sure Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom don't actually have a well-developed connection for this movie. Because we gotta have him fight, Hugh Jackman Wolverine and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I
That's way more
clapped.
important.
Mhm.
That's cinema, man. That's
Peak.
why I go to the theater.
Peak fiction.
Remember when Don Cheadle was like, "What is Armor Wars?" when someone asked him? I know that was he was just joking, but now I wish it was real.
You just reminded me about
actually is
Secret
Armor Wars.
Invasion's existence. You just reminded me that Secret Invasion just completely ruined
think-
Rhodey.
That's
I
something
think
I
that's-
often watch.
I think that's what Hannah was talking about.
Secret
Yeah, that's
Invasion.
what I was thinking
Oh,
Secret
about.
Invasion.
Yeah.
I forgot that existed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
haven't seen
too.
it. I don't want to.
That shit is so
It
funny.
looks
because
dog shit, so I'm not
The
watching it.
Rhodey that was present at Tony Stark's death, literal moment of death, was a Skrull.
The only thing that I found funny about it, because I only watched an episode about it, and I was just like, it was a nothing burger. And then I is finding out that Drax's tattoos are just like genetic, like canonically from what that show says, because like the Skrull turns into him because of DNA, and just puts on the tattoos.
I didn't think they were tattoos.
Yeah, I thought they were genetic. It
Even
looked
before
like
that,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
the
that's just
same.
what his skin pattern looked like.
It
Kind of like
wa-
Jar Jar Binks.
But he has like skulls on his body.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I haven't
he has
paid
like
close enough
he,
attention to the
he has like
design.
he has like multiple human skulls on his chest. That's why it's so weird. If that's
Who knows?
genetic,
Maybe maybe from killing so many individuals over the years, his body just adapted and was like, "We're gonna form the shape into a skull."
it's just like a
I
big
don't fucking
pallets
know.
over his body.
Maybe he's been
Um,
standing still for so long that we didn't notice he had skulls on his body.
That's true. That's
I
also
do
true.
remember the Lego minifigure having Lego skulls on his body.
so peak. Dude, I got that set, that Milano.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. I got all three
Oh,
of the
wow.
ships lined up on a shelf right now.
Damn.
I got the Bowie, I got the Benatar, and I got the Milano. Very, very snazzy.
I wish I got the Bowie when it was on sale.
It's probably like the worst of the three, I'm not gonna lie. It looks so out of place.
I like the
I'm not-
design personally, and it wouldn't be out of place because I don't have any other dealerships. So
It's just because it's just like a less like, I don't know, like a less.
it's like a playset, and the other
It's
two are
more of a
like
yeah
these
than
souped up
display, yeah.
collectible.
But
display
we've gone off
pieces.
topic of
Bunch of
the Victor
yappers,
Von
man.
Doom because, hey man, I'm here for a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
same.
invited us here, man. Shut up.
No, you're. Who's we?
I'm such an asshole. Sorry.
But I guess I guess I assume the general thoughts is that it's a big meme, but it also just made you so sad because of your connection to the character.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, Noach.
Thank you, Ster. I've made my peace with it. I went through all 5 stages of grief in 10 minutes.
Well, the way that I look at it, like with it, is that I've come at peace with is that like with adaptations is that the version of character that I like is still exists. That's never going to go away. So even if something like that pisses me off or it changes the public discourse, I just know that people are like either ignorant to learn about it or it's just on them because
As
that
long as they
story
don't
is
make
still there.
Comic Doom slowly look more like Robert Downey Jr.,
Oh my
they
I'm
gosh.
good.
Oh,
absolutely
no.
you know that they absolutely are. You know
They
that, right?
probably will. They did that with Wanda, but
They did it.
Oh,
They,
that's
she's
they did it with.
unfortunate.
She's recovered.
They
She's
did it with.
recovered. She's recovered.
They did it. They did it with Thanos as well. He straight up just looks like Infinity
Oh
War
yeah,
Thanos.
yeah. Whatever. You know what? They're all slowly recovering. I'm sure Doom will
Yeah,
as well.
it's like
Hopefully.
Iron Man is like his armor almost like looks nothing like the MCU now.
Remember when people were bringing up that random Iron Man Doctor Doom Elseworld comic?
Yeah, like have they even like read it? That's like a body swap scenario.
No one has read it. No one has read it. Feige hasn't read it. I haven't read it. You haven't
Like,
read it. It's completely
Even though
irrelevant.
even though that was Tony Stark, like that was still like Victor's body. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's a
Iron
money
Man has
laundering
nothing to
scheme.
do with has nothing to do with this casting other than being like, meta. Like
and because
he's
they
not
both
playing
wear
an Iron
like
Man
metal
variant.
armor.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's probably why he chose Tony Stark. Not only
Dude,
because he's recognizable, but like they probably just saw him as like an evil version of Iron Man.
I have a theory that his suit is just going to be a green Iron Man suit with a cape.
It's gonna be the
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
1 helmet for sure. That's the Doom mask now.
Oh my fucking god, you're right. It's gonna straight up look like MF Doom with just an Iron Man suit.
So MF Doom actually looks cool.
Well, I'm just hoping it's a Joker 2 ending moment where the real Doom comes in and shanks Tony
just-
Stark, Doctor
Just
Doom.
he just rips him in half and just throws him away, just like Ultron.
Yeah,
But
It's
basically.
not the
Fucking
real
Deadpool.
Doom, and it's just a Doom from one of the Fox movies.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Deadpool humor.
And then people will be like, "But Madvocate, they spent $100 million on Robert Downey Jr.'s paycheck. They wouldn't just make him a one and done, waste him like that.
Well,
Sometimes
the
you got
funniest thing is, right,
$100
if
million to make $1 billion. Stonks.
It's
Investment.
a small price to pay for salvation.
Pretty much.
Like, it's just what was I gonna say? I don't remember. I lost it. Damn it.
Rats
He's going insane.
Doom.
It's on-
going mad.
Doom,
many
money, spending money, Doom. The actors, casting.
Okay,
Doctor Doom at home.
Just a green painted Iron Man action figure.
I
Dr.
can
Doom
actually
at home.
imagine it looking like that.
It's genuinely just like it's genuinely not even fully green. There's just like red underneath it because it's just like a spray painted coated Iron Man suit. Dude, he just puts he puts he puts 2 Ds on his fucking front at Doctor Doom, and it's just like a spray painted white.
They won't give Daredevil 2Ds, but they'll give it to Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's where they've been the whole time.
He stole them.
What's the origin of Doctor Doom? Because I have no knowledge on this character aside from what I've seen from like the early 2000s movies.
Okay, he is he was part of a Romani tribe as a child. I believe so. And he had deep connections to the occult and magic because of his mother. His family was persecuted when he was younger, and that really shaped his worldview of, a peace. He wanted total world domination to make it less violent. I believe so. I hope I didn't just completely butcher it because I'm really, really tired. But he to put it mildly, being Romani is a huge part of his character. The persecution he faced was certainly the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's kind of just gone for the sake of aura. Quote unquote
Robert
aura.
Downey Jr., my
Yeah.
favorite Romani actor.
Have you
Exactly.
considered? Have you considered that he hates you 3000 and he's gonna bust down some moves in Secret Wars?
Another big part of Doom's character is his connection to Reed Richards, which I know they're not going to develop at all. I know because a guy on Twitter told me.
Gulp.
MCU updates.
I wouldn't put any sense in that yet. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't really.
I mean, just based off of the MCU's track record of developing rivalries, there aren't that many.
One of the biggest shames that just I guess not really, because of my experience with Iron Man comics, that the Mandarin isn't that interesting, at least in the comics from what I've read. He's alright. But it would have been neat. I don't know. Like the thing with Shang-Chi that really bothers me a lot. We're gonna move on to that, I guess. If you guys are down, because I felt like it was a good segue.
I'm down. Yeah, what a wonderful segue.
Is I don't respect it on the level where it's just like it feels like it's pulling out a character that's just already been buried so long ago, and that has ties to Iron Man, and then they just like completely rip that away, and it just takes away a very interesting element that could have been done. Especially since I like Tony Leung as an actor and what they could have done with him, but what we got. Which really bothers me about it.
There's also the fact that
fine.
he's just stupid as a whole.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying like just on a base like concept level, it's just kind of just like okay. That's a great Mandarin. It's a great Mandarin.
Yeah, it's like clearly an improvement. There's like, unironically, I think I somewhat like Ben Kingsley's one more. I don't know.
Well, I have a hot MCU take. I don't think Iron Man 3 is as bad as people say it is. I think it's mid.
Shush.
I forgot.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in years, and I don't care to see it again.
I haven't seen it in like years.
I don't even
When
care
did I
about
watch
it
Shang-Chi?
other than to like criticize Shang-Chi.
I quite like
Must
it.
have been like a few years ago now.
Goddamn.
It does have.
Maybe I could make a video on Iron Man 3 someday.
Ooh,
Madvocate,
because that was the very first MCU movie I actually watched.
Same with me. Oh,
I
no,
feel
wait,
bad
no,
for
no,
you guys, man.
in theaters. In theaters, it was the best I saw in theaters.
Oh, it was the first one I watched, like, period, and it was in theaters. because a couple of buddies invited me to, and I really liked it when I saw it in theaters. I think I was more enamored with the Iron Man tech. I was
Yeah.
like, this is super fucking cool. But of course, I was like 15 at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
believe
the
the first MCU movie I watched was the first Avengers movie, which is pretty
Yeah,
good.
same.
the goat.
Yeah.
It's a damn good movie.
Actually, I think Volume 3 is probably the goat of the MCU. I think it's better, than Avengers.
I like it more, but I don't think it's better.
They act like two legends cannot coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's yeah. I think,
There's
fuck you, yeah.
what even is everyone's
Yeah,
goats of the MCU? I'm actually curious on that.
all of the Holy Trinity, the Holy Trilogy.
Of course. First
You
Iron
know.
Man, very good.
If you
the
put
first Iron
Homecoming
Man,
on there, I swear to God.
I really like Homecoming.
Homecoming is one of the better MC movies. Let's be real.
I enjoyed that film.
I'd have to rewatch it.
Good, TK. Good.
Get him on peak.
It's the best Spider-Man movie.
No,
cap.
shut up.
No,
That's
no,
too
no,
long.
shut up.
That's too
No cap,
far.
no cap, no cap, no cap, bro.
Spider-Verse
no cap, bro.
better.
Too
Yeah,
far.
Cross?
Oh,
The best
dear.
Into.
Spider-Man movie? Across.
Into.
Into his peak.
Across is I think a 7. I don't know.
Across is still better than Homecoming.
Yeah.
No, it's another time.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that huge text wall you randomly sent my Twitter DMs.
Dude, you wanted to know.
I did want to know. Yeah, I was curious.
This is your doing, bro.
I walked right
Um,
into that one. Yep.
That's your
I will
fault.
read it someday.
But the text,
Yes.
you didn't read it?
I'm kidding. It was a joke. I
Oh.
did read it.
I'm exposing you live right now.
No
Liar.
lies.
God damn.
But I guess that was a quick conversation about the rivals thing. That's just one little thing with Shang-Chi. I
Marvel
don't
Rivals.
like.
How about we just drop this whole topic and talk about how sick Marvel Rivals designs
Dude,
are?
it looks fucking great.
I
I'm
haven't
so
seen
excited.
it. It looks
that I
like
can.
slot
The
probably. I
Overwatch
don't know.
trailer.
Dude, it's
Shut up, TK.
Nah, I'm not
the
going to.
Overwatch Destroyer claim doesn't make any sense, especially since Overwatch is already dead. So but it's not killing anything. It's quite literally digging up a corpse, like a certain movie.
Yeah.
A certain movie. Well,
Other MCU goats. First Doctor Strange.
mid.
Better than most.
Mid.
Ster, it's way better than Homecoming. Come on now.
It is better than Homecoming.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Homecoming is not
No,
all
it's not.
that. Come on.
Homecoming is a 7 or an 8.
That's hardly the
Doctor
best
Strange
thing in
is
the MCU. It's a
Doctor
Five.
Strange is a solid 8.
Yeah, it's an 8. I'd
Solid
probably put
5
the
out of
same
10.
level. My top 3 would probably be Iron Man, Avengers, Guardians 3, maybe. I don't know.
My top 3 is just Guardians.
Or yeah. I mean, how I'd rank the trilogy is probably 2, 1, 3 for me.
Oh,
And then
that's
it kind of
From
it changes.
worst to
It
best,
changes.
or
it changes it changes a lot on the day. I love all of them. I'm different in
Yeah.
sense.
I've always been of the opinion that it's 3, 1, 2.
2 is very underrated.
It was
So
underrated. I agree. It's a very good
was-
movie.
Yeah,
That's-
2's my favorite.
and then there's
Real.
C, who'll tell you it sucks.
He's so wrong. The
Fuck
movie
C,
is so
bro.
good. The movie is so good.
He's insane, literally.
He's right about
Well,
Thor Ragnarok,
He's
though.
psychopathic. I don't know.
Mid. Well, I guess now that we're talking about peak, Madvocate. What would you give on your current viewing of Volume 3 out of 10? What would you give it?
Oh, when you said peak, I thought you meant Daredevil.
Oh my god, bro.
I think after the viewing I just did, an 8 or a 9. This was this was after. When did this movie come out? Was it last
Last
year
year,
or
last
Yeah,
year,
it was
2022?
last year. It was last
Oh
year.
wow,
Yeah.
it feels like forever. Yeah, because I only saw it once in theaters and then I watched it again in preparation for today.
It's so good. It's so good. It has no right being as good as it is in the state, but
hmm
of what we had, but it is good.
We'll
And
take it.
I think
I was so thankful because I was counting up the days, like for when that movie was releasing, and my God, I was very happy with it when it came out.
mhm.
I understand that there are like issues that you have with it, but I'm happy with that rating, so we probably don't have to debate about it. I'm like that
Oh yeah, this
rating
is
is absolutely fine.
yeah, it definitely stands out amongst everything else that's come out in the past few years, which I feel like its quality is something to note about again the state of the MCU. This movie did not make $1 billion in the box office, right?
No, it did not. It only made 800 mil, and it was and the reason it did that was because of Ant-Man and the Wasp. This movie
Oh my
suffered
gosh.
due to that
Oh,
movie.
did they come out like
Seriously?
back to back?
They did, yeah.
It came out 3 months after, and it had to.
Oh,
Honestly, I think
and
they
it,
should have added another 3 months to that.
6 months.
Yeah.
shut up. I
No,
it-
don't.
I needed that movie when
How many months?
it came out. Like
Wasn't
I
there a
needed
show
it.
that came out in between Ant-Man and Guardians?
No,
I don't
no,
remember.
Secret Invasion came out after.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I can see how, like, Quantum Mania would have done that, because I think my first watching of the trailer was what genuinely killed my interest in this franchise. Is it was just so. I just didn't. I was like, no, this is just so mid. I'm not
It's
watching this.
Only mid?
I give up.
It's like one of the worst.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
think it has
slow.
like one of the worst visuals in a film I've ever seen. Like straight
And
up.
also just like the quality from the second movie, even though the second movie is like a 6 or like maybe worse, I don't know, like from memory. From a drop from the second to the third movie is actually like insane.
I've seen
Like it's
bigger quality
actually
drops.
Crazy.
it's insane to the level of just what the Ant-Man movies were before, and then what it became. Because like I forgot the
Mhm.
third movie has MODOK in it.
Oh my god.
MODOK is in
MODOK's
that
What do you
movie.
mean? What do you
part
mean you
of it,
forgot?
though.
He's like the most memorable part of the
I
movie.
did-
The only memorable part.
Don't be a dick.
I fucking remember when I was like watching with my family and I got kicked out for making fun of MODOK.
Insane.
And then
Respect
like
MODOK
then my
for a
family
guy.
afterwards like realized I was right. What's with
Oh, I
that
love
stupid
this shot.
mask? What? Why? Who added
Nowhere
that
left
on
to
there?
run.
We're
Nowhere
left
to
to
run.
run.
I want to run.
Why does he even have that mask? Like why?
It's such a funny. It's such a funny shot. Like
They
the
didn't.
way it's
I guess they just didn't
composed.
want to make him look as ugly as comic MODOK, so they gave him that mask that looks like comic MODOK. It's so weird.
But
He still looks
It's so
ugly.
stupid.
It's insane.
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
I love it with discussing the state of the MCU, and it's just MODOK.
This is the state of the
This
MCU.
this is a visual representation of the state of the MCU.
Maybe that should have been the thumbnail.
I'm actually
We should have
wondering,
all
like,
made our PFPs MODOK.
oh, I'm actually like wondering, like, why have like the films in the MCU just visually like looked worse? Like all of them have.
Well,
It's
I
like
think I want
everything
to.
like post COVID.
I think I wanted to talk about on top of that, to go back to Madvocate, what Madvocate said about Guardians 3, is the reason that it was so good is that it was a relic of a movie that was supposed to come out years ago. Like, it was a movie that was supposed to come out, like, 4 years before, like, no, 3 years before it was released, and just because he got fired and came back
Oh
to do
right,
all
that
that.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
why
of certain
that's why it
jokes
came
he
out in
made.
Phase 5. It would have originally it was going to be the first Phase 4 project. Like, it was going to be the that's why it feels like such a nice little epilogue to the MCU, because of just the effect of it, but because of where it's positioned. Because it's so weird because it's a part of the multiverse saga when it just has absolutely nothing to do with it. Like there's nothing that
No,
makes
my
it part of
favorite
it.
epilogue to the MCU is Spider-Man: Far From Home. The
No,
goat.
no. Rewatching that genuinely just made me sad because
You
I
rewatched that?
I rewatched it and I love Homecoming.
As
and
if
that movie
Homecoming was like
absolutely
even that good to begin with.
shut the
Kill
fuck up,
yourself.
TK. You don't even know. You don't know
He
the
doesn't
pain.
know. He doesn't
I'm just a
know.
hater, okay?
He doesn't know the pain
Can I
of
please hate
watching
on things in
going
peace?
from
No.
Homecoming to Far From Home, where Peter is just like absolutely like the biggest like dumbass.
TK and all of his weeb friends are talking about Uzumaki. Oh, you don't know quality drops. Shut up.
I'm sorry, have you seen the visual quality drop,
my
bro?
God.
Like, look at it. It's insane.
I have seen it.
Bro, like, that's like the biggest quality drop I've seen in years.
Years
Like-
since Far From Home.
Now, since like,
Five.
the last
4
like 10 years,
It's been
bro.
5 years since that movie came
5
out.
years.
Still you, still me.
That was one of the first MCU movies I saw in theaters. Like, you know that
How young are
Homelander
you?
meme? What?
How
16.
young are you? How is it one of the first that you saw in theaters?
Because, like, I got into it very late. Like,
Okay.
after the
Fake
Infinity
cape shit
Saga was
fan.
over.
Dude, you came in like way after it was already washed.
Yeah.
God damn. How, bro?
How can
like,
it be washed if it was, like, never good to begin with?
Like, I don't.
the
Ooh,
MCU
Oh.
was kind of because Iron Man, but
Yes,
yeah.
it was good once upon a time.
yeah,
Well,
like
we got
years
Modoc,
ago,
and it became
like
peak
over
again.
I
a
can't even
decade
remember the
ago.
Incredible Hulk. Was that like
I actually
a
kind of
That
like
is
that
part of
movie,
it.
if I'm being honest.
That one is it's okay. It's alright.
I
I
don't even think
prefer
I've seen it. I can't remember a single thing about it.
it's alright. I think that phase 1 is like the most solid phase of
Definitely,
the MCU.
yeah.
It really
Easily.
is, and then phase 2 is shaky. It has good in it.
As Guardians.
It has peak. It has peak in it, and then it has Ant-Man 1, which I don't think is very bad. I think it's alright.
Yeah, it's pretty
Phase
good.
4
I
has
actually
Phase
like
4
it a
has no
lot.
Guardians, so it sucks.
It has the holiday special.
Oh,
Like,
right, I
no,
forgot
I'm
about
still
that one.
baffled by this. How can you call yourself like a cape shit fan, but like get like involved with the MCU so late? Like, genuinely.
I'm more of a
How?
DC fan.
I'm a
Mm-hmm.
DC fan.
ooh, he loved Joker too.
I love
Have you seen? Wait,
Jonkler.
have you,
I loved
have you
Folia
actually,
Doodoo.
have you actually seen that yet, Madvocate?
I've seen Jonkler too.
You've seen some things.
I haven't seen either
Oh my
movie, so
gosh.
like I'm safe. I don't
I haven't
ever
seen
want to watch
either.
You
them
haven't seen
now.
Joker 1, TK?
Nope, never saw it.
I quite
I don't care
like
to.
Joker
Wow.
1.
Whoa, that
honestly.
was
It
quite the voice
good.
crack there, Noach.
So you consider that it's not art because that guy made it. Forgot his name. What's his name?
Todd
The guy who
Phillips?
directed it. Yeah, Todd Phillips, because he
Guy
made
who
it.
made the
He's a hack.
Hangover movies.
He's a hack. Fraud.
First movie was whatever. The second movie.
Like how we're talking
wow.
about. I like how we're talking about Joker on a.
It was glazed by
Yeah.
EFAB, so it probably
Steer
Steer
sucks.
back to the MCU universe.
Okay. Well, let's. How about Echo? Talk
Let's-
about Echo because my advocate really wants
Oh,
to talk about
fuck.
that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think there was something I wanted to talk about before we move on. We were talking about Guardians 3 and something
Yeah.
else.
Shang-Chi?
No, after that.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
We were talking about
Yeah,
like
I guess
past
I
phases
wanted to
and stuff.
I guess I wanted to bring up the fact that Guardians 3 did not make a billion when I feel like it should based on the quality.
Yeah.
Is because I was going to talk about how the people now, it's obvious that they care about the member berries, and that's why Deadpool and Wolverine made $1 billion easily.
9 out of 10.
I will kill you, TK.
Okay, I haven't even seen it. I think it probably sucks. Like based on like what
You
I've
haven't
seen.
seen it?
Yeah,
What
I
the
don't.
fuck? What? You're the host of a podcast where we're covering the current state of the MCU.
I
Man, and
haven't
you
seen
haven't
it
seen
yet.
the
Like
latest
I
installment.
was trying to see it with like Andrew at some point, but like they didn't want to watch it. So like
Yeah, no one wants to
I
watch
watched
that,
like
bro.
Logan in preparation for it even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my point was people want their member berries. They want the cool, oh, finally Deadpool and Wolverine on screen duking it out. But then Stir brought up how it came out shortly after Quantum Mania, which kind of fucked with its momentum, I
Oh no,
guess.
I think if Guardians 1, like, not Guardians 3 came out by itself that year itself, I think it would have made a
Mhm.
bill, like a fat
Probably.
bill.
Yeah, fair enough.
It just got cucked because of what it was next
Yeah.
to. It's actually like the saddest like sandwich I've ever seen. It's like two turds as like bread, and then like a gourmet steak in the middle, and it's just like two slices of bread on the outside, and then like a dead pickle with Secret Invasion. And
They
like
should have released James Gunn's Superman 2 months after Junkler too. I think that would have made it perform extra well.
the current state of the DCU.
Oh yeah, talking about Quantumania made me remember something else I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I wish they would like when it comes to the more fantasy side, they would steer away or steer more towards like the horror aspect of it, because I feel like you could do a lot with to make like the quantum verse or whatever it is
Like scary,
like
scary,
scary.
like in the first movie, because in the first movie it's like
Yeah, it's
dark
very
void.
mysterious, just a void. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I kind of like after watching Guardians 3, I'm not saying like the space movie should have had this. It kind of made me wish that it wasn't like all kind of goofy and silly. I wish they kind of made the space adventures a little more scary, but whatever. James Gunn did a great job with his world building, I think. But on the other side of the coin, I wish they made, instead of just keeping up the goofy the crazy visuals, there's like humans down in the fucking quantum realm. I wish they just made it like horror, you know,
Yeah.
well,
instead
that's
of
something
just
that's
more spacey, goofy nonsense that like is already
Luckily,
happening in
Multiverse of
space.
Madness being peak has a lot of horror for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
well, a statement I would add on to what you said is in Volume 3 there is a lot of like body horror that they show
Oh yeah,
off,
that's true from like the experiments and stuff.
which is, and they just like it. I like there's a big criticism of that movie where like people say it doesn't balance the tone well enough at all. I 100% disagree. I think it's consistent 100% with the other two movies, especially two,
Yeah.
with how it balances like the comedy with the dark, and it knows when things are dark, especially like there's not a single joke about what happens to Rocket like in that movie. If there
Yeah, thank
was,
God.
that'd be so fucking bad. Um, but I think that there's also an element to this. This is another thing that people talk about is the color grading of the film, where it's a bit gray. I think that adds to it because the atmosphere of the movie is like there's a despairing tone to it throughout. Like it's grimy.
For
Like
every meaningful, despairing shot, I can think of a very colorful space shot.
yeah, I know.
You know,
Like a lot of warm colors as well. Well, it's like it's also in the cages. There's a lot of warm light that goes through, like warm light
it's very well balanced. Yeah.
throughout dusk. And I think that if still a lot, especially so.
Mhm.
How did you but I just wanted to ask one more question about it, Team Advocate. What do you think of the ending overall? Because I think it's like perfect for
Yeah,
everybody.
I think it's great. I think it's some great closure for Peter, and I think it's like a great time to have him go back to Earth and visit his grandpa.
But
Did
why
they?
did he?
Yeah, why did they? They never set that up at all
Oh
throughout
my
any of the
fucking
movies.
God.
They never set
Yeah,
that up throughout any of the
that
movies.
criticism already like raised an eyebrow for me, but then rewatching it, I'm like, oh, Mantis literally asks him, "Why have you never gone back to Earth and like seen your family?" And Peter just kind of like tries to avoid it.
Well,
Um,
it's like in the first movie, there's a scene in the first movie where his mum
mhm,
tells him, "Your grandpa is going to take great care of you when I'm gone."
I
mhm.
think the EFAP hosts just all went to the bathroom collectively during those moments in the
Oh
movies.
my god.
Yeah.
They just missed him, you know.
So there's breadcrumbs throughout the other two. I don't remember them.
That's
early
fair.
like that. But that like the third one like has another
one does set
setup
it up,
for
yeah.
it, and
The
it's
third
like,
one does.
oh well, it's like maybe around like halfway beginning-ish of the movie where someone brings it up. I think it's Mantis.
Yeah, it is Mantis.
Yeah, and
And it's
Peter
like
kind of dances around it, so it's like it's already setting up like, is something going to happen towards the end, and then
There's nothing
it
I hate
happens.
more in Marvel movies than setup being paid off. It's my least favorite thing ever.
Yeah, and I think it was like a great time after he got like kind of closure with Gamora when she says, I bet we would have been fun," and he finally
Which
like
you wouldn't
comes to
believe.
terms with that she's on her own path now, and I think it was a good time for him to be like, all right, I think it's time to face.
What the?
Oh,
He's dead.
it was a
my
good
bad.
time to face my
Oh.
fear of going back home.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Madvocate, but my internet cut out.
It's okay.
But I get what you're saying though.
Mhm.
Like it's but it's beautifully like subtly set up in the second movie a lot as well, because in the second movie, like Peter like says, "Why do you never you never went back to go see my mom? You never went to go do that." And it's like him projecting his own his own thing. And Gamora, and there's a scene where he's arguing with Gamora, and is like, "I finally found my family," and she's like, "You had family on Earth, and you never wanted to go back there." And Peter
Well,
is like,
setup.
and
Our little
Peter's like, Earth is the place where my mom died. And he's like,
Mhm.
and it's set up throughout the entire trilogy subtly, and like throughout it, and it's very beautifully done. And it's also just like that criticism doesn't function at all, because it's like, you can visit them, right? Or they can visit him at any point they want. He's just leaving the team for some time, and
Mhm.
they can visit him as well. It's like it. There's just nothing. There's nothing to that at all.
The legendary
Just like,
Star-Lord will return.
don't. Well, there were leaks saying like he's gonna form a new team, which is like
That was from the same that didn't have a source, right? That was
Yeah.
like those are
Like
that
if
kind of
that's what
Blu-ray
happens,
bullshit, you know?
if that's what happens, then that's just them not understanding what the fuck the point of that was at all.
Yeah, don't take it hard. That account just says shit.
I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna ruin them in the future, so I don't really
The
care.
account being disbussing film.
The cinephiles.
Oh dear.
But what else did you want to say, Madvocate? On top of
I
that?
think I talked about it being that I wish the quantum realm
Yeah,
elements were more were more horror-esque, because we already, like I said, we already have like the fun silly space vibes thanks to Guardians, and like Infinity War and stuff. So I wish
Even Ragnarok had it,
they
yeah.
had a chance. Yeah, they had a chance to, to spread their wings, tap into more, to like different genres. I think with Ant-Man, I think that's like a perfect opportunity to do that, and they just didn't do it. They're like, oh, Quantumania, there's broccoli people down here. It's all silly, and there's even like humans too. And it's like, okay.
what annoys me the most about Ant-Man 3 is that Scott's arc is done by Endgame. Like his character is completely done. Like the family is like good and happy, and then they like give him this like arc about like that. I don't think like what even is
Oh,
his arc in the third movie about like thinking about the little guy, even though he already did from
yeah,
the
the
beginning.
characterization for like the main characters is so bad in that one.
Like it
Ugh.
completely destroys Hank. Like the line of them saying they're expanding the Pym tech out to help other people just is, even if it's like a morally good thing to do, it doesn't make any sense with who Hank is as a person, like at all. Which, to be fair though, I think that is an issue in Hawkeye, because in Hawkeye he has a Pym tech arrow,
Oh yeah.
which I don't think makes any sense with how Hank is characterized to be, but it's just like worse in Ant-Man 3. But yeah, Ant-Man 3 shit. Everybody knows that. So it's just unfortunate.
Mhm.
Echo, your favorite show.
Echo, 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 Echo.
So I've only seen a bit of the first episode. I saw the one scene with Daredevil where he just leaves.
I haven't seen
Fight.
any of it. Not even the Daredevil clip.
Like he just leaves the
He
fight.
just leaves.
What is that scene? He comes in, he says, I've been keeping tabs on these people all night. He fights Echo a little bit. He gets the upper hand. He tosses like a shelve on top of her, and he's just gone. Like what was he
think-
doing
I
there?
think there's an implication that the police are coming because I think I remember there were sirens and that like he was running out of time and they were already on their way and he dealt with what happened was. I think that was the point of it, and I think that was
I
one of
don't
my
remember the siren, but
friend's defenses for it. But I don't know. I
would
I
have to
was
give
at
it
that
a rewatch.
I was at the stage of I'm at the stage now where I just skip like I'm genuinely done. My investment with this franchise ended with Guardians 3. Like everything I care about is like
Yeah, same.
everything is done. Like I got
That's
what
why I
I
was a
wanted
little
out of it.
worried. So I was a little worried when TK was like, "You want to talk about the state of the MCU?" And I'm like, I don't really care
Don't
about it
care
all that
anymore.
much.
Well,
Couldn't be me. I have to cope about Fantastic Four. It's my one purpose in life now.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the reason that I like doing it is because like I like to talk about what's good, and even though there's not much to it, like there is good. There is still that nugget. There are 2 nuggets. No, 3. Okay, there are 3 nuggets. The Werewolf by Night is good. If you haven't seen that, that's good.
I have not seen
neat-
it. Is
that's
the
a
second
neat
nugget Guardians Holiday Special?
Yeah, that is a little nugget. Which Madvocate, if you do rewatch, there is a thing in it that might make you question about 3. That I want to bring up if you ever do watch it right now.
The holiday special, like an
Yeah, no,
inconsistency with 3.
potentially, but I found a defense through it through set design. So there is a cloaking device that they have in the holiday special, but I did some research. My standard, and I think with you as well. If it's a plot issue, like if it's a prop fuck up and it affects the plot, it equally is valuable if it like helps save the plot, right? Like if it's a fuck up that is like and on the console it shows like the system that it uses is like glitching because like a light that turns on that shows that the thing is working isn't like working properly from what it shows in the holiday special in the 3rd movie. Um which like is the only basis I have for it. Dude, I've done my research. I have looked frame by frame into this fucking movie, and I think it's a fair defense for it. But that's like the only thing that you could possibly say about it. But I think that the set design in it, with what we know, is and like with good faith of it, is a good enough defense for it, even though it might not have been intentional. So I think that's fine. But that's the only thing I would have brought up as a conversation piece for it. But the holiday special is great as well, and it sets up a lot of stuff in 3 with Mantis's and Peter's ship. It's really neat.
Special with
A character assassination, apparently, from what you said.
Yeah, I did watch the holiday special. Didn't think it was bad or anything. It was cute, and then I just kind of like forgot about it after watching it.
That's
I don't know,
fair. I think
didn't stand out to me, but didn't have like any like issues with it.
I think it has cute things in it. Like I really like that we learn how Peter got his guns. I like that Christmas is meaningful to him to some extent. I like that it establishes the relationship between him and Mantis going into 3, and like it sets up like what happens in 3. That reminds me, in Love and Thunder, Love and Thunder's terrible, but Love and Thunder sets up a plot point in 3, which is actually crazy. It's actually like good writing in one moment of Love and Thunder.
I don't.
Where
Can you tell me what happened? I don't
So-
know anything
Yes.
about Thunder.
So in Love and Thunder, there's the scene where Peter like talks to Thor, and I don't like that Rocket isn't the one that talks to Thor, but I don't know. That movie sucks. But
They didn't have
there's
the
one-
budget.
he's in the movie though. He's in the
Oh,
movie.
God.
He's in
Oh,
the
is he?
corner. Yeah,
I
they're-
don't remember anything about Love and Thunder. I just remember the shot where Peter like looks at the Guardians, and then Thor tries to like place himself in front of his field of view. That's all I remember.
But there's a neat scene in it where it's like he's like, I've been lost before, and like and you've been lost like your whole life, and yada yada yada, and it's like I found love, but I lost that, and it's shit, but it's better than feeling nothing. So at least he's like saying, but he's like, it sets up that he's not doing good emotionally with what happened with Gamora, and it's like, and he says, look into the eyes of the people that you love. They'll tell you what you need to do. And it's every single person that is in the scene in Volume 3 that he says goodbye to, because those are the most meaningful people in his life.
Hmm.
Which is, and the only reason that works is that was like, that was James Gunn who worked on those scenes, which is why it's like neat setup going in, which I really like. That's the stuff I do like.
Well, there you have it. That explains it. James Gunn was a part of it.
Always has been.
Yeah, dude, he's ruining DC.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Even though he made one. Okay, that's a hot take of mine with James. I don't think the Suicide Squad is very good. I think it's mid.
Boo! Get out of here.
I haven't seen it.
It's so good.
I liked it.
I can get behind that.
I think the plot is terrible.
Fuck you. Get out of here.
Characterization though was just spectacular as usual.
Everything about it is.
He is just the goat. Like there's no other way of saying it. James is just the character goat. That's why I expect, even if like Superman's plot, his Clark's gonna be very good. I expect his Clark.
Alright, but have you considered he isn't Snyder?
Hopefully they don't give him super speed.
I'm so thankful. I think he will have it, and that's one issue that I'll probably will have him. I think he's gonna have every ability under the sun.
Just tone all of his abilities up to 11. Just make him this unstoppable force. And have him save cats and trees. Boom, peak. Thank you, James
Also
Gunn.
make
There's
him
a
as
Starman.
insufferably inconsistent as possible.
Yeah, exactly. There's a Starman waiting in the sky.
They were playing that in Tesco's.
No, chat, only associate that song as from a Star-Lord edit I watch now. From
No way.
Yeah, have you seen? Do you know who Dr. Skipper is?
No.
I think I've heard that name.
I'll send you the video. I'll show it to you after this. The video, it's got a really funny edit with it. Actually, it fits really well. But what else is there?
I hope they cast Jeff Bezos as Lex Luthor. He's already got the maniacal laugh down to a T.
They already casted Lex in the movie.
Yeah, they cast a lot of people.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lex
I have
is
not kept up with the news.
Lex is being played by what's his name?
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt.
Oh wait, then I did hear about that. Wait, that's like old news. No one that came up, and then no one really ever brought it up again. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do well.
Fuck, it's so hard because I don't know, I thought that there'd be more to talk about, but just like the problem is that just so much of it is trash, and we just agree that most of it is just trash. Like it's so
Slop.
easy. It's just slop.
Oh well.
Yeah, well, I did want to talk about. I guess we kind of talked about She-Hulk and Echo, but just like the overall build-up to Born Again, because everyone's like, "Oh, that's gonna be peak."
Yeah,
everyone
will be.
Hands up. Martin Scorsese, hands up. Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
I saw
but
from the trailer, it looks neat, at least from the tone of it. But I think that my problem, from what I remember, is I don't understand how Fisk is like the mayor at all. That doesn't make any sense.
Let's talk about how canonizing the Netflix series has kind of fucked them over. And yes, it is canon.
Yeah, it's on the timeline.
One of the executives
all the Netflix
said
shows are.
it is canon. and when they promoted Echo,
Echo.
one of the trailers shortly before it came out had clips from Daredevil, the Netflix show, and they even put like the logo on the top right, basically promoting it, basically telling you if you want to see more like background about Fisk and stuff, go watch the Daredevil show. So yes, people, it is canon now.
That's still
It
debate. Like, people are still doubting that.
I guess so, because like all MCU stands are fucking dumb.
well,
Like,
well, here's
no,
the
which I think
thing,
you're
like,
forgetting that like there are people who like defend Wanda's actions in WandaVision.
oh fuck,
Ah,
Oh my gosh.
they'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
yeah. But like the thing is like She-Hulk and Hawkeye, as is, it like the implication was that like it's gonna be a new thing. Yes, the stands were like, well, of course it's. You can see in the replies of that post about it being canon. They're like, it's always been canon. What are you talking about? It's the same actor. Meanwhile, these people are forgetting that the fucking multiverse exists. But just looking at Hawkeye and She-Hulk, it's easy to like imply that this is a new thing. Also, Charlie Cox, early on, I think around like the She-Hulk days, he was interviewed, and the interviewer asked, "Is this going to be like a season 4, or is it going to be a like a soft reboot, essentially?" And he said that Kevin Feige had said to look at it as a whole new thing. So essentially, he sees it as like a season 1, Born Again being a completely new thing. And this was before they decided to recast uh Foggy Nelson and Karen Page with the same actors from Netflix. This was before they had Punisher with John Bernthal, and this was before they brought back what's his name, Wilson Bethel or something, as Bullseye.
I
Yeah,
totally
and this
forgot they were bringing him back. Oh boy.
and
Can't
this is
wait. Yeah,
before they apparently had a major like rewrite, like production do-over, because Matt apparently has in like the initial set photos, he had like a new law partner. It was some lady, and then they had the whole like rewrite, reproduction, whatever you want to call it, and that's when they announced that Karen Page and Foggy Nelson are
Foggy
back.
back. Yay.
Foggy back.
Foggy
That they're
back.
back with the same actors, and Bullseye is back, Punisher's back, everyone's back. So yes, I do firmly believe that it was going to be a reboot, and then at the very last minute, like around the time Echo was being made, they're like, "Fuck it, let's make it canon."
What confuses me
And
is like what changed? Like I don't like that's what's so odd. Is it because
yeah,
like they
they
knew that nobody was gonna watch Echo, so then they were like, if we canonize this, then that gives incentive because of people will be like, oh my god, it's connected.
People
It's a
like
new.
Daredevil, if they see like, a Daredevil spin-off heavily marketed with Daredevil, that would get more people to watch. It almost got me to watch.
it's clear that they brought back Vincent D'Onofrio in Hawkeye because they knew that would turn heads if he came back as Kingpin. Uh, Same with Charlie Cox in She-Hulk. Like I don't know why that wasn't enough. Just bringing back the characters and just treating it as like it's the multiverse. These are lookalikes, but they don't have the same history as Daredevil.
I guess they assumed just
Netflix.
like why bother, right? Because
Well,
the Netflix shows were just pretty much adjacent, right?
well, the thing with the Netflix shows is that it was always a thing of like with the movies, it's like we're not going to talk about the gator under the bed. So if you're not going to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it because it's like Daredevil. The way it is Daredevil is canon to the MCU. The MCU was not like compelled to it like
Yes.
before.
It did
Like,
reference like Avengers through newspapers and stuff
it
in
did
the
yeah,
in the bulletin.
but
Yeah.
it's like an adjacent show.
Yeah, that's
rather
what
Yeah.
than an actual
It's
like
easy. It's easy to be like, Oh, it takes place in another universe where like basically the same events from Avengers happens in this Daredevil and then in this
Well,
Netflix universe
But the
essentially.
continuity is so fucked anyway, so they just said, "Fuck it, why bother?"
Oh wow.
Well,
Like
well, it's like the problem with it is that like it's the same thing with Age. They were so unclear about the old shows because like Kevin didn't like that it wasn't his shit that was being made.
Doesn't Agents of
Like,
Shield have its own rules of time travel that the
yes, and
MCU just ignored?
it had it no. The thing with Agents of Shield, right, is that it set up things in like it it had a whole story set during the blip, but they didn't know about it, and so they don't ever mention it at all. And so then they have to conform to what happens in it in such a weird way because the movies just don't give a flying fuck about it. Like past like Age of Ultron, where they just completely forgot about it as a show.
I guess it's just not
Um,
real. Okay.
I guess. Well, if it is, it causes so many fucking world building issues. Like if like way more. Like that show, like Ghost Rider was walking around like in that universe in the
They had a
MCU.
Ghost Rider in that show.
Yeah, Ghost Rider is in the show, and he's just
Oh
around.
yeah.
He's just doing his thing, and he has like a whip that opens up like portals that look
I know
similar.
nothing
to
about Ghost Rider, but like from what I've
He,
heard, he's like
he,
a
he,
force. He's like pretty powerful. They
he has
just like
he has
have him
he has
walking
a
around non-canon.
he has a whip that opens up portals that look like the sorcerer's ones. But to be fair to it though, I'm not I'm not the kind of guy that says because it looks similar to it that it is exactly that. It's the exact reason why I'm very okay in Volume 3 with the portal guy because he the way he does it is it is completely different to how the sling rings normally operate and his magic
Oh
completely
yeah.
different.
I
Like
saw that. I'm like, wait, is it sling rings? And I didn't see one. And
no, he doesn't.
I
Oh,
guess the
no, he doesn't.
portals look kind of
No,
slightly
he
different.
doesn't. He doesn't, and his magic looks slightly different in the way. Like it
Yeah.
looks more mechanical, and I'm not. And also just due to the nature of that, the fact that he docks the ships onto it and then opens it up, and it looks similar. Okay, to be fair to it, it opens up the same way, but the way it works intrinsically with him not having a sling ring and them having to dock the ships on, like I say in my video, I don't think it's fair to judge it as such. And on top of the fact that we don't know enough about this guy and what his relationship is to magic to make any concrete claims, would you agree with that?
I do agree. Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it's fair to the movie. And it's like the biggest like fucking like shit fest that like EFAP had over it when it's like, you know that like they can do
Really?
different things. Yeah, like they were like this like was one of the biggest issues in the movie.
What
It's
the fuck?
crazy.
When I saw it, my first instinct was to look for a sling ring. I didn't see a sling ring. The visuals looked a little different than the Doctor Strange portals, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be a different thing. I feel
I
like.
remember Jolly saying it was a sling ring. That was like
No,
his
it's not.
biggest criticism of the movie.
It's not. There's no sling ring. Like I can pull up the movie and show you, and he doesn't have a sling ring. And even if he has like a belt buckle that looks similar, he's not using it, and that means that like it's completely different. But he's not, and he uses a similar hand movement, but it's like he doesn't have a ring, and the way it works is completely different. So
Kind of just
I'm not gonna.
the portal opening hand movement. He just flicks his hand.
He doesn't
What
even
else
do
could
that.
he
Yeah,
have
he just
done?
no, he doesn't
Yeah,
even
he
like
just like
move his
moves his hand to the
like
side. That's what he does.
he flicks it open and then sparkles come out. And also like his magic, like as we see, is like more it's orange, but it's like got more like techy, like kind of like I'll find a photo of Kruger. His name's Kruger.
I didn't even look that close, and I just assumed it was a different thing because it seemed like a different thing.
If it was a sling ring, it would be such a pain to remove half a star from my letterboxd rating. It would hurt my soul.
Oh god.
Let me. I mean, can I? Is it alright if I stream the thing?
That'll probably mess up the formatting, but
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Let me.
No. Yeah.
Let me.
Fair.
Let me just go to the movie and like. Because I've looked through it 100 times, but I'll look through it 101 more times. I am fucking certain that he does not have
wonderful.
he doesn't have it
Yeah,
or
just send a
anything.
screenshot or a little clip if you can. What it doesn't really matter.
The slop fairs. Oh my gosh.
And
Slop,
also,
slop, slop.
also one thing I want to say about that movie, that I love is that I love that the movie characterizes its employees to like arrogance is such a great thing that this movie puts across with its characters,
Oh yeah,
like
Nathan
with
Fillion
villains,
was in it.
with the villains and stuff. That it makes sense that like a company that's run by the biggest arrogant asshole would say that it's got dangerous employees, but in reality is just kind of full of guys with a like military that like have good weapons but aren't necessarily the smartest ever. Like I think that's fine due to that. Because would you agree with that, Madvocate?
I didn't even like think about that, but I guess it's kind of clicking. I don't think I had like too much of an issue with terms of like security and stuff. I feel like there were moments where it was clear that James Gunn tried to account for some very specific things, which I appreciated.
You know what movie also has great characterization of employees?
Transformers 1.
That is
Hell
exactly
yeah.
what I was about to say. Hell
Let's
yeah.
switch
I need
topics
to
now.
see that movie.
I love
It
that
looks so
movie.
good.
I want to
You
watch it again.
Oh
I've
my
yet to
gosh.
see it. I
Transformers
might
1.
watch it at some point. I don't know.
Definitely do that, yeah.
I
I
want
don't
to
know
see
how
it
much
so
longer
bad.
it's gonna be. I don't even know if it's still in the theater where I am.
If
I'd
not,
have
then
to
go
go
see The
check.
Wild Robot instead,
I
because that was
wanna,
also
I
very good.
wanna like go watch it maybe sometime during Thanksgiving weekend.
I feel like it'll be out by then.
Dude, it's like this weekend for me. It's
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
Right,
right. Canadians are fucking weird.
Shut up.
here's the shot. Here's a shot, like with everything.
Yeah, that actually does look pretty different. I agree.
There you go, Madvocate.
I don't see no slingy.
He doesn't doesn't have
Yeah, the
one on his
portal looks
fingers.
slightly different too.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to like come to the conclusion that
I'll
it,
probably
it
just
could
like
be different magic.
I'll probably just like edit that onto the screen when I like edit it. I don't know.
Hmm.
Ah,
Like here's a clear body shot. He has metal shit around him, but like you cannot say that that's the same thing because the sling ring is a very specific property to how it works.
Yeah.
So you can't use that. Like it's designed very specifically, and he just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, peak movie, bro. Go to the MCU.
I think it's like a 4 at best, to be honest.
Just
well,
like
now
The
talking
Incredibles.
about the real goat, Born Again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm thinking about my bad.
No, that's all right.
I
It's
get
cool.
passionate about this fucking movie so much. I love this movie.
Yeah, that's
do
cool.
we
Let's talk
we
about
wanna
some
talk
slop
about-
now. Let's like.
do we want to talk about Loki? I guess we can talk about
Oh.
Oh, but I'm not done with my
I-
rant about Echo.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You gotta finish that.
I got
That's
time. We
fair,
can like
yeah.
we can. I still
Just
got like a
real
whole
quick.
hour left that I can be here. So
Yeah, like
wade
I've got
through
plenty.
the rivers of slop.
we got time. We got time.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I'll
okay.
try to go
Okay.
through
Yeah,
it
we'll,
real
we'll
quick.
finish like Echo, then we'll go through like Shang-Chi and then Loki. I guess was where
We
we'll
did
end
enough
off.
with Shang-Chi, I think. Or
No,
is there still more?
we like barely talked about Shang-Chi. I want to like yap about it for a bit because it sucks.
Anyway, to trying to go over real quick. Now that I've mentioned that the Netflix Daredevil is canon, brings us to Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, in Hawkeye and Echo.
Mhm.
Let's try to like recap what happened at the end of Daredevil season 3. So Kingpin is put in prison. His big tokus is thrown in a cell. Daredevil threatens him by saying if he tries to pull anything, he's going to prove that his wife Vanessa ordered the murder of Agent Ray Nadim. The guy running for DA, district attorney, was it Blake Tower? I think.
I haven't seen season 3,
no,
but I know the basic gist of it.
Sorry, I think Blake Tower. Wait, was it
You
Blake
haven't seen
Tower?
season 3, Easter?
No.
No,
What the
sorry. It
heck?
was. I think it was Mahoney. Was it
Alright,
Mahoney or Blake Tower? Whatever. Some authority figure is being interviewed by the press, and he's like, everyone knows Fisk's game now. He won't manipulate the system again. This takes place in like 2018, like around the time it came out, or it's a few months after The Defenders. So 2017, 2018, probably. Uh jump to 2021. Fisk is out and about on the streets as the Kingpin. Hawkeye knows who he is. He knows he's a big mob boss. He's out there committing crimes. I don't remember Hawkeye too well. I did not rewatch it in preparation for this. All I know is that Fisk
Seen it,
is
but I can't
out there.
remember.
And Matt is nowhere to be seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go over Hawkeye much. But he's shot in the face at the end by his niece Maya, who is Echo. He survives a bullet to the eye. Then we go to Echo, where I think it's 5 months later after he gets shot, and he's in the hospital, and he somehow gets out of the hospital, I guess. I'm assuming it's not like his goons, like a hospital set up by his goons, kind of like how Gus had in Breaking Bad. It could be, I don't know. Point is, Fisk is free in Echo. He's even feared by like the police, either feared or respected, because there's a scene where Maya tries to get herself arrested, I guess, because her father is just recently killed by Hawkeye. She commits a crime. She's about to be arrested, but then Kingpin comes out of a car. He walks amongst a bunch of police officers, and one of them is like, one of them tries to stop him. He's like, "Sir, you can't go through the crime scene." And the other cop is like, "Yo, don't you know who that is?" And they let him through. So either Fisk is paying off the police again, which the guy at the end of Daredevil season 3 saying we know his game, he won't manipulate us again, was fucking wrong. And he gets Maya off scot free. He stops them from arresting her, and it's not just like one cop; it's like a whole squad of cops. So yeah, great job making Netflix canon, because this doesn't make any fucking sense, being
The
a few
only
years after season 3.
the only thing that I could say, and I don't think it works because there needs to be so much like more, is that the blip happened, and like that led to like fucky shit with like him being able to get out and due to space and stuff, I guess, or something. But that doesn't work because we don't have enough content. We don't have like enough. Don't have enough
Yeah,
context to determine
Echo
if that
does
was the case, and they don't. And I assume Echo doesn't even fucking mention the blip at all.
Echo does not explain any of this, because again, I'm pretty sure they wrote this before they decided Daredevil Netflix would be canon. Yeah, so Fisk is like this respected fear. I don't think people know he's a mob boss. Maybe they just assume he's rich. Um and
Would you
hold on, I'm writing a script for a potential video. Let me pull up my notes.
say that the issue would go into Hawkeye for like bringing him out, and then there would be a smaller issue for Echo for not explaining it, right? Because Hawkeye is the one that establishes that he got out and like doesn't do anything with it. So
Well, yeah,
I put
they don't even say he got out in Hawkeye. He's just an entity that exists. Hawkeye sees a picture of him on someone's phone that they took secretly, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's Kingpin."
well, doesn't
And
in that from what I remember in that show that he's dealing business with like a big with fucking what's her name? What is the Hawkeye girl name? I forgot her name.
Kate.
Hawkeye's
Oh,
real name?
no, Kate Bishop.
Clint?
Kate Bishop's
Oh,
mum. Like he was working with Kate Bishop's
yeah, yeah, he
mum,
was.
and she's like super rich, which means he has connection. Means he has He has like big connections with people. And, like his
Yeah.
empire is like some extent like existing, and also just like he gains like durability out of fucking nowhere. He's just like he gets run over by a car and he's just fine. And I guess I mean like I think you could explain that like he got some fucking super soldier serum because that shit was going around in Falcon the Winter Soldier.
That'd be
That's
hilarious.
different.
Yeah.
But like I think potentially due to the hints that you get, I think it's I think the foundation of the issue is in Hawkeye, because Hawkeye establishes that he has all these connections with people and like debts that he needs to get, because like he has a debt with her, from what I remember, to get back, and he's like got all this power over them, which means like that's what Hawkeye establishes with it. So I think that's on Hawkeye, which in your video you just bring up how Hawkeye shits the bed with that. In Hawkeye's credit, I think Hawkeye has some good stuff in it, though. Like it has some neat Clint stuff in it.
Mhm.
But like that part, I think it would be on that, and I think that destroys. I think that would be the thing that destroys.
Yeah,
The
I
next stuff.
suppose.
Well, I
Again,
guess
I'm certain it was written before the canonization, but now they kind of like tossed all their shit onto Born Again. Like now Born Again is the one who kind of has to explain all of this.
I guess I would say that. But it's kind of a 1-2 punch though, right? Because it's like, well, it's the Echo has to be consistent with Hawkeye, right? And Hawkeye already puts this out here, but because now it's canon to it, it's being consistent with this thing. So now, do you blame Echo for this? For now that being canon, like, is that what you blame for it, or would you blame Hawkeye for that? Would you blame Hawkeye for that now? Because
The thing is like
or do you
I don't know.
judge it? Or do you judge it from when the piece of media came out and when it was canon to what? To be fair to it.
I think pointing out when it was written and what the intention was is just like an explanation. Oh fuck! Hold on, my hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I think pointing out what the intention was, if there was like canonization hasn't happened yet, is an explanation, but now, I mean, these are all decisions made by executives. I'm not gonna like give you leeway just because you decided to change course in the middle of it. I feel like,
Yeah, but
um,
I think my point is that I think there's blame from both sides, but I'm saying because someone's getting
oh
the boot. Someone's getting the boot. I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm saying it is determined on if it's either an Echo or a Hawkeye, because because Echo has to like work with what Hawkeye establishes. But the problem is because of it being them establishing that like it is canon now with when it comes out, do we blame Echo for being consistent with that? Well, because here's the thing, right? It's like the problem with like for example in Shang-Chi with setting up the fucking like the fact that Wong was fighting the Abomination, and that makes no sense there, right? Like there's no explanation that makes sense, and then She-Hulk is the one that'll explain it, and then that it doesn't make any sense. And it's on She-Hulk as well. So I guess it's a twofold then thing, if you're gonna say it with that standard then. That's on Hawkeye and on
yeah,
top of that. I would say I guess it's on two fronts by that logic.
yeah, just
'Cause
one of these pieces of media has to explain it. Hawkeye didn't do it, which again, like there's a a real life reason behind that. I don't think it was supposed to be canon. Um, then Echo did not do that, which again, don't think that they wanted to canonize it at that time. Um, Now Born Again is the one left to do it, which I guess makes the most sense because with it being canon, it's like it's Daredevil's villain. Um I don't know. Does that make any sense? Like now it's on to them, but I don't think they're gonna do it, or they're just gonna do a very bad job of explaining it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I think
sucks.
it's just a shit pile.
So the
It's just a very simple of it's an alternate Daredevil and Kingpin. It was very easy. I don't know why they felt the need to canonize it. I guess
Because
they were like, people love the Netflix show. Let's try to property as possible. I don't
it's
know.
it's the same desperation with the Robert Downey Jr. thing. They want every
Yeah.
audience from everything so they can have all the assets to make the most amount of money left because they're so desperate. They need a win.
They're just
They got
throwing Hail
one.
Marys.
They literally, yeah. They got
Basically.
one. Sorry, I'm sorry for cutting you off so much. That is rude. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Um,
I think because like now that they have Daredevil under their belt, like even the Netflix show being on Disney Plus, I mean it's apparent in the marketing for Echo, like I mentioned. They want you to go see that show now that it's on Disney Plus by putting it in the Echo trailer.
because they want Echo to do well. Because like
Yeah.
Echo, like due to what was happening, is like Echo was not going to do well due to when it was coming out. Oh wait, shit! That came out last year, didn't it?
It came out this year, like begin January of this year.
What the fuck? I thought it. Okay. Oh,
I know,
okay.
I was fucking shocked too.
I thought for a second I thought this show came out in 2022. I thought it came out like 2 years ago.
She-Hulk?
No, it's Echo. I thought Echo came out. Wait,
No,
no,
that
shit.
was this year.
Fucking.
Yeah,
God.
Very
I
earlier this year,
not a
yeah.
soul talked about it. That's why it seems like it was
But
ages
Daredevil
ago.
was in it. No, here's the thing. They didn't build up hype to Daredevil like She-Hulk did. Everyone was talking about when's Daredevil gonna show up for like weeks.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they just
And then
like
when they teased him at the end with like his helmet, he wasn't even in the following episode, I think. That was
Yeah,
no, he
funny.
was
I didn't even
no,
make
he
it
was
that far. Honestly, I gave up
he
3
no no
episodes
no
in.
no no no. He didn't appear until 3 episodes after that.
Oh fuck.
He didn't appear until three. That was the most annoying thing to me because I was like, okay, because I still had some investment left. Do you know what? Okay, the movie that killed my investment actually before Volume 3 was Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever just pissed me off, like as a movie. Like I think that movie genuinely like made me mad before it. But it was like She-Hulk and that killed it like fully. Where I was like, I'm done. Like that year was like the end of caring. But like with it was like three episodes after. So each week I was like, okay, at least hopefully they could do Daredevil right, like in some capacity, right? Like they have to, and then
Right?
and then it was like
Right?
the episode after that was like one of the worst in the series, and then I was just like depressed because it was like the shit wedding episode. Like
What was
I
wrong
don't
with
even
the Daredevil characterization? I haven't watched any episodes
okay
with him in it.
okay so. It's dependent on his characterization. I think he's inconsistent even in the show itself, even if you're gonna go off
Wait,
like the canon of it.
before we move on to She-Hulk, can I finish Echo
I'm
Sure.
real
so
quick?
sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you
It's
finished.
okay.
I didn't. I thought
Um
you finished because you just. I got my bad.
Yeah, so Daredevil himself and She-Hulk was like whatever. He just shows for a fight scene and then dips. But Wilson Fisk was so weird to watch in this show. It feels like they saw him in Daredevil and they're like, this guy is just like violent with people who don't deserve him, who don't deserve it. Let's have him beat up like a fucking hot dog peddler in broad daylight just because he couldn't understand the language his niece was speaking.
That's
You
true
do
as
not
well.
understand Wilson Fisk if you think he just beats up people whenever he can, when he's like just a little bit pissed off. That's what happens in Echo when Maya's like his niece, not blood related, but considered to be his niece. He picks her up from school someday. He's waiting in the car. She goes up to like a hot dog vendor, some kind of street vendor, and the guy can't understand her because she's deaf and can't and has to communicate through sign language. So he doesn't know what she wants. Basically rejecting her. She goes to walk. She walks towards the car. Wilson is like, "I'll be right back." He fucking manhandles the hot dog peddler,
What
pulls him
the
into an alley in broad daylight, and starts beating the ever loving fuck out of him.
what?
And
I
it's
remember
like,
that from the trailer, but I was expecting like more context.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. The
'cause it,
trailer showed like his bloody hands, and it's like, what? This is who you think Wilson Fisk is? He just beats people who piss him off like a tiny bit in broad daylight.
what makes Fisk interesting for me in season 1 of Daredevil is like how he uses his resources effectively in like the position he's put in, because it's also like a really neat world building thing, because everything that he does to be able to take over Hell's Kitchen is a factor from what happens in New York and the unsettling of New York through that. He does, and he's very
Mhm.
like precise with his movements and stuff from that. But it's just like the impression I get here is like, no, it's a guy. He's just a fat brute.
Yeah, just a language barrier caused him to lose his shit. Like, come on now.
Like in season 1, he only got really mad because Matt kept fucking over his operations, like consistently.
Yeah, but you see, a hot dog vendor did not want to sell the hot dog because he couldn't understand the little girl.
Was he even like rude about it?
I think the hot dog peddler was like trying to show Maya that like she needs to be able to talk for him to understand. Like he does the fingers, like the hand mouthing motion,
Yeah.
with his fingers. But like he's not like, I don't know, particularly aggressive to Maya.
But
It's
you
just,
see,
and it's like a
Kingpin,
language barrier. It's understandable. Like if someone doesn't understand sign language.
I mean, like I don't think
Kingpin
most
is just
people.
a
Oh, sorry, Hannah.
really big, angry guy, and that's why he beat him up. Because he just hates
Basically.
people. He
He got a little mad. It's okay.
just got a little bit grumpy.
I genuinely don't think most people know sign language. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this scene makes you think, well, Wilson really cares about Maya, this whole language barrier caused him to lose his shit. Um, he really cares about her. He doesn't, in the many years he knows Maya, he doesn't ever learn sign language himself.
What?
He needs an interpreter who he later kills in a scene. I don't know why. I guess he thinks she could possibly spill something about his illegal activity.
Okay.
But he has her killed off, and he himself hasn't learned sign language despite really caring for Maya. Do you remember in season 1 he knew
I was just about to
Chinese
bring that up. Yeah.
to communicate with Madame Gao?
He knows like several different. I think they established in that scene that both Madame Gao and Fisk know like several different languages.
Yeah, he learns different languages for his business, but he won't do it for his niece that he apparently cares for so much that he'll beat up a poor hot dog vendor for it.
I just rewatched that episode a few days ago. Not in preparation, just out of because I like the episode.
Yeah, and then his solution to the language barrier between him and Maya, he has a contact lens, basically the Batman contact lens that can like has a camera built into it, but
Okay.
it he puts it on Maya's eye, and what it does is whenever he talks, she can now see like a 3D hologram of his arms doing sign language as he talks.
What? Why doesn't it just bring up text?
It's so fucking goofy.
Why doesn't it just bring up text? She can read, can't she?
I I
And also,
guess
like on top of that, just learn how to like you speak with sign language.
that's true. If she reads it, all it has to do is do subtitles. That'd be so much easier than having a 3D hologram do like hand movements.
It's so much
I didn't
harder
even
to
think about that.
it's so much harder to program.
It's so goofy.
Oh
The ending of
dear.
that show is really goofy too. They basically have a Rise of Skywalker moment where she says, "I am all the Jedi." um, the ending is Maya. Hold on, where are my notes? Fuck, did I not write this down? Um, okay, let me try to recount it from my memory. So Maya tells Fisk in their like front to front. Fisk has a bunch of goons surrounding her, and Maya tells her, I'm I'm the culmination of all my ancestors and they live through me. And then her ancestors like literally show up behind her as like a vision. They're not like actually there, but they're there to like channel their energy through Maya. And then she beats up all the goons and like
Oh yeah, I
touches
forgot.
Wilson's
I forgot the
forehead.
Echo show was about Echo and not Daredevil and Fisk.
She touches Wilson's forehead, and that basically makes him relive the trauma of when his dad was like beating his mother. Um, and then that triggers Wilson, and he's like, "What did you do?" And his men have to carry him into a car, and they drive off, and that's his exit.
Okay.
Um,
What a great
it's
show.
it's very corny, very silly. Not a satisfying at all like final battle between them. What was interesting, what I did not expect at all, is that the post-credit scene is literally the segue into Born Again.
Oh,
Wilson is he gets on his like private jet, and the news is playing on a TV. He unmutes it, and it's like a news reporter saying, the people of New York want someone for mayor who's a fighter, who knows the pain of the common folk. They even say like who's a bare knuckle brawler. Yeah. Um, not making it subtle at all. And I guess that sparks the idea for him to run for mayor in Born Again. So yeah, that's
Oh,
what I mean when it's like it's actually a segue for Born Again.
I would say
he
something
definitely.
about criminals being politicians being unrealistic, but like, is that really
He
that
definitely
unrealistic?
knows the pain of the common folk when he's inflicting it.
Definitely not happening right now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that kinda is fair. Like, Trump is like actually just a felon. Like
Yeah.
straight up. I think you can no, you straight up can run for I think from what I heard, I know I might be wrong. You can run from president in prison. Like, I think you can do that.
I'm not fully caught up
That's a thing you
on
can
my
do.
own country's
I'm
laws,
not
but
cut up. Yeah, I'm not cut up with
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up on the
USA
current state
government
of
lore.
USA lore.
Yeah. I know I might be wrong, but I
I
remember
haven't
reading.
finished the manga yet.
I'm only on page 300.
Yeah. If anyone in the comments wants to correct me on misremembering what happens in Echo, feel free to.
If any
Um,
lawyers in the chat want to clear up any
yeah,
misinformation, please do.
yeah. I just thought it was very silly, and they seemed to misunderstand his character.
R.I.P.
That's basically it for
The
Echo.
story of the MCU.
So where do we want to go into now? Do we want to get into like Shang-Chi?
I think Loki is
Okay, yeah, you know what? Fair
like I
enough.
think
Like
I think Loki is
because
like the
like
big final
Madvocate
boss.
already has like a great Shang-Chi video that all of you should watch, but like he doesn't have one on Loki, so let's briefly cover it here then.
It's coming out in 5 minutes. Actually, it's premiering on
Wait,
my
actually, you
channel.
have a Loki video?
Oh,
It's a
what?
little too late.
Whoa.
Wait,
No.
Oh.
what's the video? Oh, my
He,
bad.
he
The
he hasn't even
fish?
seen it.
What the tuna?
Oh,
What the
I'm
tuna?
just talking about just a random video, like a video that he's posting. My bad.
Oh, I see.
Hold on, I gotta take another pee break. I'll be right back. Sorry.
I see.
Okay, how do we entertain our viewers until it
What are
goes
we
back?
gonna talk about? Are we
Your
doing
favorite-
Shang-Chi and Loki
Wait,
or
hold on, Star, what are you
anything?
saying?
We'll go around the table and say our favorite vegetable.
Vegetable.
Favorite vegetable? Ooh. Do you want me to start?
Potatoes
I
are the
like
goat.
potatoes are so good. Are they a vegetable? Or is it like a
Totally forgot. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Let me
carbohydrate,
fact
I
check.
guess?
I don't
Are,
think potatoes have seeds.
are potatoes vegetables?
They don't have
Google
seeds.
AI says potatoes are vegetables.
Yeah, I'd have to.
NationalPotatoCouncil.org says potatoes
You know,
are vegetables. I don't think it's
okay.
biased at all.
Do you know that? No, do you know that Google AI says that you should also eat a small rock every day?
That's based, honestly.
You
I
should
do
eat a
that.
Just like the dinosaurs.
Do you know what? Do you know where they got that? Yeah, that's true. You know where they got that from?
Where'd they get that from?
The Onion.
Oh
They
my
use that's
gosh.
an actual source that they use, like on Google AI. It was like The Onion.
Okay, well, right under it, the National Potato Council, which I think are the most trusted source. They're the experts. Potatoes are a vegetable,
Yeah.
according to them.
Yeah, I'd have to go with potatoes then, to be fair.
What's your favorite stir?
Onion.
Onion.
Ooh, that's a good choice though. They do have a lot of flavor.
I like them in burgers for sure.
Yeah.
Onions are like the most versatile, like fucking vegetable. Like like you can put them in like basically everything.
They're pretty goated.
What
Sauce,
about fruit?
watermelon.
Mango.
I think I like mangoes when they're like dried. That's about it, really.
Dried mango is really good actually.
Yeah,
I'm a banana enjoyer
they're
myself.
very whale.
I
you
actually
know.
like despise bananas.
Oh,
Like I'm actually
Yeah.
genuinely like
Um,
cannot do it.
you're vile. You're never welcome on this
Wow.
podcast again.
You
Oh,
could
he's,
never be
he's
a
back.
minion.
Yay.
I
All right,
What was a
let's
minion?
discuss peak cinema or peak fiction, whatever.
So
Ooh.
my favorite thing to talk about to
Talk
start with.
about She-Hulk.
My favorite thing to talk about with Loki season 2 and 1 is that like just the basis of like. So what do you know about it, Madvocate? Like for starters, like what do you know about?
I know episode 1 is about Loki deviating from what he was supposed to do,
The
and
sacred
TVA being
timeline.
like, "No, you're not supposed to
Oh my
do that,"
gosh.
even though the Avengers broke like 10 different rules while doing their
It
time heist.
sucks so hard.
But Loki was the one who made the mistake. All I know is that he's taken by the TVA, and they have devices to wipe out the branching timelines that aren't supposed to happen. He goes on detective adventures with Owen Wilson,
Yep.
and I think the other thing I know is that the ending of season 2, he becomes like the gatekeeper of the timeline or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he sits in a throne and he's like smiling because
Oh,
he's trapped there forever or something. But
that's
then
crazy.
that means the multiverse can exist or something, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
that I think season 2, like the end of season 2, is like the biggest thing that I want to talk about because it makes no sense and it's absolutely so stupid.
I tried to watch that season. I failed.
It's terrible.
I just couldn't get through it.
Episode 5 and 6 are like some of the worst fiction I've ever seen. Like it's like
Oh,
the writing is like. I'll show you clips if you're afterwards after the stream. So like
yes.
Mm.
I'll show you those and like give
A-
examples. But there
And the
is
last thing I know is that Kang gets shanked, and
yeah.
that's it. That's all. That's
So-
everything I know.
So what happens at the end of season 1 is that Loki goes back to like after all the events that he goes throughout the season, he learns that Kang controls the timelines and that the timekeepers were fake. It was all fake, except it wasn't for some reason because Kang made up the story for some reason, even though it wouldn't matter if he just was the one who was in control because they would be under his service and they can. So he just makes up this fake story for some reason to pave them on a road to get to a certain place because he needs Loki specifically to take over, which are like literally the worst option imaginable in the entire multiverse to choose from somebody to look after your timeline. But that's besides the point, you know. And so from going into season 2, like the Sylvie kills Kang, the timelines are free because of that, right? Like it's all going loose. Like everything's loose. The show wants to make you seem it like, even though that's not what happens, but whatever. Just that's what the show says. And so Loki begins to time slip out of nowhere. And time slipping is where he just goes into random places through time itself. And like he gets ripped out and then he gets put back into the same position. And
Wait, what causes that?
Oh, they never explain. It just happens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It just happens for a reason. You know? It just happens for a reason. And then at the end of the first episode, they get rid of it by going into the temporal loom, which is like it's basically a microwave where they put raw time and cook it into defined time, and it powers the TVA, but it's gonna explode.
You did not just say a real sentence.
It's cooking time.
That's actually a thing. I'll show you later. There's an oven that cooks time that powers the TVA, and that's gonna explode because it's for some reason. I don't remember that exactly, but it's gonna explode. I don't even think they explain why it's gonna do it, but I don't care. The show fucking sucks. So the thing is gonna explode.
I'm sorry, am I hearing that right? An oven that cooks time. Cooks time.
That's literally what they say. They literally say that there's an oven.
I don't remember that at all.
No, it's in the first episode.
That is really goofy. Okay.
Like cooks undefined raw time, and it's unstable, and like the TVA is shutting down, because all of the timelines. Oh yeah, that's why. Because all the timelines that they like let free are going in.
Wait, is
And,
this season 1 or season 2?
Season 2, because I'm saying season 2.
I don't remember any of that. That's weird.
Yeah, this is a lot of stupid bullshit.
Yeah, too much to keep track of, I guess.
And so because it can only account for one timeline going in, but infinite timeline it can't process. So so their plan is to get a Kang variant to come in to access the security protocols of the thing, so that they can get in and fix the loom and add a bigger loom. Do you know why that's a problem? Because the whole point of season 1 and what they established is the reason the TVA was created was to stop Kang variants from fighting and existing. So if a Kang variant that is completely different, that is a variant of him, can just use the security measures of his facility that controls the power source. It's a bit of a goofy mess up, I would say. A little bit of a goofy.
Oh dear. That's rather silly.
And they also established in Loki season 2 that that Miss Minutes was created by him, and Miss Minutes can travel anywhere in time, and it can grow her size and interact with the environment. And for some reason, they don't use just infinite versions of her instead of random buckfuck humans with prune sticks. But that's great.
Yes.
Right? It's great. It's a great show. Now this is a show that people said saved the MCU. I've already brought up 3 reasons why the fundamental plot doesn't function. It doesn't function at all. And then the plan is to get this guy. They get him, right? They get him. They get him, and he throughout the adventures, but their plan doesn't work, right? Because they didn't because they were too late. But Loki's time slipping comes back out of nowhere. So then he gets everybody back together because they all because the timeline I forgot to tell you, the timeline gets destroyed twice. The entire multiverse gets destroyed twice in the season.
What does that consist of?
Just everything dies.
Being erased?
Everything it gets erased.
So our heroes in 616 briefly stop existing?
Yes. And then Loki goes back in time before time was destroyed, even though that's not how it works.
Oh fuck me.
Because of how time slipping works.
We're gonna go back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys
off the menu. That's right, the menu. But then because he just gets this ability back, and he has to get everybody back because of temporal aura. that will restabilize the timeline or some shit. I don't remember that aspect. It's fucking stupid. But just remember that he needs them, right? And one of the guys. Oh, this season also establishes that there's only one dude that fixes all of the TVA's equipment.
Yeah.
There's one
What's his name again?
human.
Short Round.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it Ki Huang
yeah.
Kwan?
Yeah. It's
Hee
only
Kwan.
one.
Yeah, I love
It's
that
only.
guy.
It's one dude who like. Only one dude who fixes everything, and he has like a hammer, and he whacks
The
like
goat.
things, and then he sends it back up in a tube.
What a work
And
ethic. I could never with my video
they
schedule.
only have one guy who fixes everything because he's just him. But and anyway, that's I don't need
That's
to
so
explain.
fucking fun. The organization that has like seemingly infinite
Infinite-
amounts of sectors managing timelines, infinite amount of timelines. They just
They
got
got more
one guy.
Infinity Stones than they do repair guys.
And and so this guy, so this is the main guy that like, because he's like the guy. Oh, he's also the guy that wrote all the manuals for everything in the TVA and how everything works. He's also the same guy who did that.
What the fuck?
And so what happens is that Loki time slips back there to get him because he's like, I need you to like help me fix this. And like he asks him and he gives him the book and like then he explains the concept to Loki. And he's like, okay, so like fiction, like non-fiction is about the how and like is about the when and the how. But fiction is about the why. And it's like oh no, it's like science. Science is about like that, like all that jazz. And that line makes no fucking sense, but the show acts like it does. And then Loki
Mhm.
gets everyone back, and because he gave him a manual about how everything, he just creates a temp pad out of like shit in his garage, like over a month. Like buys equipment to create a temp pad, that like jitters and stuff, which doesn't work because our time works. But in any case, um,
Mhm.
but because of what happens in I completely forgot about this. At the end of season 1, Sylvie, after she killed Kang, she went to a branch timeline on Earth in 1982 and went to go work at McDonald's.
What?
Yeah,
You're joking.
I'm not bullshitting you. She went
That's
to
just
go. She
that's
just
just her
goes.
passion.
She's like, I want to try everything on this 1982 McDonald's menu. She just goes to McDonald's. But in any case, like so Loki when Loki's trying to get her and explain what's happening because he did it earlier in the show. He's like the whole universe is gonna die because everything's dying, right? And she's like, yeah, but like I have a life here.
Well, the McDonald's working, Sylvie?
Yeah, yeah. Then she's like, I got a life here. And it's like, well, everything you know is gonna die though. And she's like, yeah, but I want to have a life.
But how is this another Far From Home conundrum? Like, how can you have a life if everything is gonna die?
Yes. The exact same. It's worse though because it's the
Fuck.
entire multiverse, and it's the entire
Ugh,
multiverse, and it's like,
that's
and then
funny.
she tells Loki like, why do you want to do it? It's like I want to do it so that so everything's like safe. It's like no, you want it because you're lonely, and then he gives up,
What? Okay.
and then he gives up, and he says everybody go home, even though the
10
universe
out
is
of
gonna
10.
die, and then everybody is gonna die. Um, and then Sylvie finds out that what he said was true, and she's like, "Oh my god, everything is dying." Even though, why would he go to her at all if she
Who
literally
tells
betrayed
her?
Loki? And Loki tells her, and she finds out because the universe that she was in was disintegrating.
Okay, so that's how she finds out.
And
It's
she's
it
like,
it,
"You were
it
right."
starts happening.
Yeah, and then and then she's like, "Oh my god, you were right." And then Loki's like, "Oh my god, I can control fate from happening." I can change everything. Because then he just figures out how to control time slipping through what he learned in that episode by learning about that the fiction is about the why, and he learns how to control his abilities. And now he can go anywhere in time and control time. And then in the
What the
finale,
fuck?
he goes back to where the temporal loom was going to get destroyed, right? Before that happens. Keeps sending Victor Timely, like the Kang variant, down to do it. Keeps fucking it up every time, even though they established that he has telekinesis in the show and he can do it because they turn off the power dampeners in the thing. So he could just do it himself, but he's just a fucking idiot. So he sends this guy to just continuously die, right? Like he just dies over and over again. And then when they figure it out how to do it right, to like expand the loom, they figure out the smart fact that you can't contain infinite with bigger. And mind you,
What?
this is like they didn't realize that they couldn't contain infinite. And mind you, this is after Loki spent centuries. Well, I didn't say that because so many fucking stupid fucking elements. Spent centuries learning about the loom and like what's inside the loom, about the loom, and to make the thing and make the process right, and kept fucking it up. But then he doesn't realize that they can't contain infinite, and then everything dies again. So then he goes back to when Sylvie tried to kill Kang, and then he fails at stopping Sylvie from killing Kang multiple times and just gives up multiple times until eventually he learns after thousands of years how to contain his abilities, and then he can just stop time even better. And then he realizes what he has to do is he has to destroy the loom. And then hold it with his abilities. Because he controls time now. So he goes back. He kills all the timelines. He picks all of them up, and they fucking look like hair. He picks them up and he powers them with his green fart, and uses his time abilities. He makes some slippers. Gives him. He turns it into a cape. He puts them in his back, and he sits down.
None of what you're
And-
saying is real.
This is what happens.
Stop making this up.
This is actually, and then he sits down, and he never said goodbye to Thor or any of his family. And also the show acts like it's a big sacrifice, even though they can visit him at any point they want. They can just go to the end of time with that tempad that Sylvie has. And he didn't say goodbye or mention his brother or sister. No, his brother and father or anybody. He forgot about them, and then that's how the show ends.
This really is a show that exists.
This
Like,
was the
all
show
of it-
that people said was better, like season 2 was better than 1.
I have to
Yeah.
delete some
Somehow.
Oh my gosh. This
Those
isn't
are-
real.
Yeah,
those
like,
are actual events
oh
that
man,
happen in
Ster,
the show.
thank
Those
you
are-
for putting this back in my memory. Thank you so
Those
much.
words didn't
was
just come
fucking
out
I,
of your
I
mouth.
forgot just how bad this show was.
It's like from
It's
what I've just
crazy.
told you right now. Do you understand why I think it's worse than The Flash? Like, just on a
Yes,
base
this is on a much wider scale.
of like stupidity. Like, it's like so, and people like say like this is what like Loki has like the best arc in the MCU because of that show.
No.
It
Because
seems
of
like
everything.
multiversal scale, like threat and death is about to happen, and the characters aren't like treating it with the levity it should have.
No, they're not.
Yeah, Doctor
You know-
Strange 2 had this same problem.
It's
Ugh.
worse than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's so
Same
much
writer,
worse.
though.
It's not the same writer.
Is it not?
Somehow.
Oh,
It's somehow
really?
worse. Yeah, it's.
He was only season 1, huh?
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Waldron.
Huh.
Yeah. This
I
guy's
thought it was
somehow
same writer.
worse.
But yikes, man.
I love how consistent the MCU's multiverse is. It really feels like we're in some kind of multiverse.
It's
saga.
very sufferably consistent, if you will.
Yes.
What's even the opposite of insufferable again? Like, what's the word for it?
Oh, also, a real thing
I would
that
say
happened in the
tolerable or something like that.
something that's not as bad, but it's just funny. But it's no, it becomes worse at the end. It's actually terrible. At the end. So
Hmm.
Miss Minutes is a living AI,
Yeah.
But then she gets really mad at Kang's variant because the other Kang didn't love her and didn't make her a real body, and she unironically wants to fuck Kang. Like that is
Oh
canonically.
god, I
Like, they
remember
established
that.
This
in the,
isn't real.
like canonically established this in the show.
Jesus Christ.
It's like an
This
actual
isn't
thing.
real.
This is a real thing that happens in the show, and and when oh also did you know about that Loki turns the timelines into a big tree?
Yeah.
No?
Remember, he
It's
turns
like-
all the timelines into a big green tree.
Maybe I've seen the visual,
It's
but
very
I
goofy looking.
don't know that's what was happening.
No, he turns it into Yggdrasil.
I'm
like
sorry, but
Yggdrasil.
I'm gonna have to cut this short because I gotta go. Like, I have something I have to do after this.
That's
in
fair.
in a
That's
few
fair.
minutes. I think we've gone over it enough.
Must restrain Ster.
We've been recording for like almost 2 hours
The-
now.
I don't
Yeah,
think
this
I
was
can
the
handle
final
it
nail in
anymore.
the coffin. The one that broke the
Yeah.
camel's back.
Anyways,
Loki,
Season 2.
that's the end for
Anyways.
now. Thank you all for being on. The legendary
This was a very fun
Starforge will
episode.
return.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We